verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them concerning the feast of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocation. Even these are my feasts.
So right here, the Most High God tell Moses to tell the children of Israel about his feast days. These are holy convocation, meaning we got to be coming together. Read on.
6 days shall work be done, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of rest.
So the first holy convocation that the Most High God tells us to come is the Sabbath. The Sabbath is a mandatory for all of Israel to come to. Because why? On the Sabbath, it's a relationship between you and the Most High God, first and foremost. Because why? You learning his laws and commandments to get you prepared for danger that is about to come. Then you got your high holy days that we have to keep as the new moon, the feast of dedication, Passover, Day of Atonement. These also are holy convocation that you're supposed to come. When we come on these high holy days, we're supposed to be coming to celebrate and also to learn why we celebrate these days. It's not like when you was out in the world, they were celebrating those wicked behind holidays, but nobody don't know why they was keeping it. But according to our record, our high holy days, we supposed to learn on why we keeping these high holy days. What is the meaning behind this? Once you already learn it, then you go into your celebration to praise the Most High God for his deliverance, how he saved his people, and how he going to do it again. Read on.
And holy convocation, ye shall do no work therein. It is the Sabbath of the Lord in all your dwelling.
In all your dwelling. Meaning wherever you at in captivity, we supposed to be coming together. Give me Ezekiel 11 and 16. Ezekiel 11 and verse 16.
The book Ezekiel, chapter 11, verse 16. Therefore say, Thus said the Lord God, although I have cast them far off among the heathen, and although I have scattered them among the countries, yet will I be to them as a little sanctuary in the country where they shall come.
So the Most High God said, wherever he has scattered us at in our captivity, it can be in America, it can be in Mexico, it can be in Russia, it can be in China. Wherever we are scattered at, the Most High God will set up small sanctuary. Small sanctuary can be a little small place, just like this right here. It don't have to be a whole lot of people. It can only be a smaller area where we are scattered at together, praising the Most High God's name, giving him honor, giving him praise, looking for the sign to come because we know he's going to deliver us from these small sanctuary that we are scattered at. That's why we always tell these camps that some say, oh, they don't believe in congregation or coming together. This right here should let you know these people don't understand the Bible. They don't believe in the Bible. Because first and foremost, how can you congregate on these high holy days if you don't have a camp to go to? That don't make no sense. So right there let you know these people who say that they don't believe in the Bible. Because throughout this whole Bible, they are speaking about coming together. Even if there's only 2 or 3 gathering at each other's house, they was coming together. That's the small little sanctuary. From there, give me Zephaniah 2 and 1.
The book Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 1. Gather yourself together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desire.
The Bible tells us right here, gather together, O nation, not desire. We know according to our history, we know according to every which way we go, we are not wanted in these lands. I don't care how much money you got. Oprah Winfrey realized that when she went over there to what place she went to?
Some foreign country.
Yeah, some foreign country over there, and she wanted to buy a purse. And old people, they said, we don't know you, who you. We don't sell to black folks. So it don't matter how much money you got. All these nations do not care for us. They don't care for the blacks, the Mexicans, the Puerto Ricans, and the Native Americans. They don't care for us. Because a lot of these nations, they know who are God's chosen people. They know who we are. That's why when you see things break out, they all want to blame us for what's going on. When COVID break out, that's what they say over there in China. They were blaming the black people over there. So they caused it to break out. But guess what? In some kind of form of matter, yeah, y'all can be playing because y'all got God's children. Y'all got his Jews. So yeah, he put judgment on the other nation for the children of Israel. Same thing in Egypt. Pharaoh will keep God people. So why don't something happen to Pharaoh? Because he had God people. So when they say it's our fault, yeah, it is our fault. Because y'all want to pay back for what y'all did. But if Israel fall in the midst of sin, they're going to fall into their plagues too that coming this way. Because we got to remember, Israel going to be judged first. Because we should know better. The Bible is right here for us to do better. But we refuse to do what the heathen do. Read it again.
The book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 1. Gather yourself together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desire.
Read.
Before the decree bring forth, before the day pass as a shaft, before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you, before the day of the Lord's anger come upon you.
So this is why we are gathering together. Because we know the day of the decree is on the way. The kingdom of heaven is knocking at our door. Any minute, any moment now, we can see World War III take off in this land right here. Right now, they still fighting war over there in Ukraine and Russia. Everybody got to remember, when you go back in history, it's only two countries that go into war first before a world war break off. When you look at the news, you got China bickering back and forth with the United States. You got other countries bickering back and forth with each other. You got Israel over there going back and forth with different, forgot the other country right beside them. But you look at smaller areas, they're going back and forth.
Palestine.
Yeah, Palestine. They're going back and forth with each other. So any moment, at any time, you can hear on the news, World War III is already taking off. We are at war now. But you know what's going to happen? A lot of people still ain't going to kill. Because it ain't affect at home not yet. It ain't affect their front door not yet. But when they start seeing buildings blowing up over here, and they start seeing their loved ones getting killed in the streets down here, they're not really going to take it serious. And like the Most High said, all nations going to run back to their own. So right now, you might look at it and say, oh, ain't that much people in here. But the Bible already prophesied they're going to be running to the house of the Lord. They're going to be looking for that place of refuge. Because guess what? They know the church don't got it. So they're going to be running out of those church because they know the church telling lies. They're going to be running to those Israelite camps that are teaching the true gospel.
That's right.
That's what you're going to see coming out soon. So we're supposed to always keep in mind to fellowship with one another. Give me Ecclesiastes 4 and 9 in the Bible.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4 and verse 9. Two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their labor.
So the Bible said two are better than one. Why would the Bible say two are better than one? The reason why is because the simple fact of you fall, your brother beside you should be able to pick you up. If your brother see you in the midst of sin, your brother beside you should be able to pick you up. Or your sister see you in the midst of sin, your sister should be able to pick you up. But if you by yourself, who gonna be able to pick you up? Read it again.
The book of Ecclesiastes chapter 4 and verse 9. Two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their labor.
Read.
For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow. But woe to him that is alone when he falleth, for he had not another to help him up.
So the Bible says woe unto that person. We all know the word woe means destruction. Meaning, you gonna fall by yourself, and in your mind, you gonna think you doing right. And that's what a lot of these so-called brothers and sisters that don't believe in camp. That's why when you look at them post up on Facebook or on social media screen, you look at the sisters, where they at? In pants, smoking, don't care about nothing. You look at brothers out there, oh, believe on have, oh, I got all these wives. Oh, that's my girlfriend. Bro, you don't have a wife. Where you get girlfriend for? That's not in the Bible. But that's the entire brothers that want to be all by themselves. I don't believe in camp. The reason why a lot of these brothers and sisters that don't believe in camp, because they don't want nobody to correct them. They don't want nobody to tell them when they're in their bodies. Don't see my sin and we good. So I'm just going to sit behind a computer screen and tell what I want to tell. And I'm going to tell you what you're doing wrong, but I don't want you to tell me what I'm doing wrong. The one type of brothers and sisters like that, you don't want to be nowhere around them, because they would never be able to take correction. Read.
Verse 11. Again, if two lie together, then they have heat. But how can one be warm alone?
That's just like a single person. When you're looking for that wife or you're looking for that husband, and you got home by yourself, you got to let the blanket warm you up. So that's why a sister got to get married. That's why a brother should go ahead and get married. Because you got that warm, you got that comfort with one another. That cold bread sometimes get lonely. I'm telling you. Read.
Verse 12. And if one prevail against him, two shall withstand him. And a threefold cord is not quickly broken.
So read that 12 again one time. And
if one prevail against him, two shall withstand him.
So that's just like when we're on the streets. When you got your brothers with you, and you bring out this gospel, it said, and if one prevail against him, two shall withstand. Meaning you got somebody to back you up. If I forget something, I got these brothers know, hey, this is what you want right here. This precept go with that. You got somebody to help you defeat your enemy. Or to help that person that you're trying to teach to get the right understanding. It's always good to have two or three with you. That's why we always say, the Bible taught us in the beginning, you got to communicate. You got to come together. You got to fellowship. You cannot be, I'm anti-social. I don't like to fool with people. I don't like to talk to people. You can't be like that. Not in this walk. Because being in this walk, you're going to need someone to help you along the way. Because we know, being in the truth, and when you find out about the truth all by yourself, you felt like you was by yourself. Because see, like everybody was doing whatever they want to do, but you were standing on the outside. But now when you find out that you got other brothers and sisters that believe in the same thing what you believe in, you be like, wow. You feel that ease. So that's why it shouldn't be no schism in the body when you know we just only a small group of people facing thousands of people out there. When you on your job, you by yourself now. When you at your school, you by yourself. But when you come in the sanctuary that God set up, now you at home. You in the hospital to get your medicine to help you make it through the rest of the week. From there, let me get Proverbs chapter 27. Proverbs 27 and verse 17.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 27 and verse 17. Iron sharpeneth iron.
Say what?
Iron sharpeneth iron. So a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend.
So right here, the Bible said, iron sharpen iron. So a man sharpened the countenance of his friend. Meaning, in the words of God, you come across something, and another brother can give you the precept on that. Y'all two have that conversation, and y'all sharpen each other's mind up in the words of God. So now, you can go and help somebody else out. Hey, this right here, what this mean? Hey, this right here mean? But when you by yourself, and you're not fellowshipping with your brothers and your sisters, guess what? Ain't nobody gonna be able to sharpen your skill. You might just learn, basically, Deuteronomy 28, put it like that. You might just know that that's all you know. Who gonna sharpen your shoulder up to show you can show somebody else something in Matthew, in Luke, that line up to Deuteronomy 28? If you by yourself, you don't got nobody to help you like that. But when you got brothers and sisters that got that same mindset what you got, and y'all about to get into the kingdom and about raising up your people, so both of y'all studying, so when y'all come together, two souls sharpen each other up. Hey, brother, this is what I just read right here. Man, you know, I was looking for that. That precept? Man, I appreciate that. That's how you sharpen each other's soul up. Y'all follow? From there, let me get Act 2 and verse 42. Like I said, I'm trying to make class sharp for y'all today.
The book of Acts, chapter 2 and verse 42. And they continue steadfastly in the apostle, doctrines, and fellowship, and in the breaking of bread, and in prayers. And fear came upon every soul, and many wondered, and signs were done by the apostle. And all that believed were together, and had all things common.
So the Bible said they all had things in common. Not one person won't believe what they want to believe. Not one person having their own thoughts. Everybody had the same thing in common. Read verse 42 again.
Verse 42. And they continue steadfastly in the apostle, doctrine, and fellowship.
Doctrine and fellowship, meaning the laws. They stay fastly in the laws and the commandments of God, in the fellowship. That's just like using a brother, what you call it, say a long time ago. When he was out in the world to get that relationship, he was around those brothers for a long period of time. He always hang with those brothers. And that's how he got to know those brothers. So coming into the truth, ain't you think you're going to have to do the same thing? You're going to have to be around brothers on a regular basis, get in contact with brothers, for you can know that brother or that sister. That go back to the book of Sirach, when it's improving somebody. You got to constantly keep in contact with people that gonna be on that same level with you. That y'all two will be on that same agreement according to the laws of God. Not according to, oh, it's gonna be that dude, I'm gonna be his friend, just so we can be cool. No. My friend gonna correct me when I'm in my wrong. I'm not gonna like some of the stuff that he tells to me. But I know he mean well by it because he coming from the word of God. Same thing like for me. He's not gonna like something that I bring to him, but guess what? He know I mean well because I'm coming by the words of God. And that's how you make correction, and that's how you prove each other. But you cannot do that if you don't fellowship. So read 4 again.
44. And all that believed were together and had all things common.
So it said, and all that believe, had all things in common. So these brothers, the same word for common means equally yoke. Meaning they speaking the same word. If I'm not here for 2 weeks and you ask this brother something about the scripture, and me and him learn underneath the same teacher, guess what? He gonna tell you the same exact thing. It gonna be nothing different. That's how you grow a nation to be in order. That's what Christ is looking for. We're supposed to be common image of Christ. So whatever Christ did, we're supposed to do. A lot of people, they want to say they want to do what Christ do, but when these trials and these tribulations come, they fail. They, oh, no. They will start going their own thoughts. They will start going their own belief. Sometimes you're going to have to realize when God put things in place and tell you to do certain things, sometimes you might not have room to do the things you want to do. Maybe you're going to have to let yourself go to do the things that God requires of you. That's what, like I go back again to a lot of people coming into the truth. The Most High God might tell you to cut your friend off. Leave that person alone. A lot of people mind go carnal. Because they're going to say, no, that's not God. God wouldn't say nothing like that. Why would God say that? God ain't turn his back on his people. God said with sinners. That'd be the first thing come out their mouth. But when Christ sat with the sinners, what did Christ teach them? The laws and the commandments. But who would Christ's immediate circle he always hang around with? The 12. He didn't hang around with those. Once he already talked to them, that was it. He moved back to where he needed to be at. So sometimes we need to stop using that carnal mind. If God says something in the spirit and show you something that this person ain't right, that's a sign to tell you know what? I'm going to have to jump the time with you. I'm going to have to start cutting back from you. Because you hindering me from where God wants me to go at. People don't understand when Christ said the kingdom is within you. You making your own life miserable when you feel like, oh, I got to cut all these people loose. I got to do this and I got to do that. Yeah, you got to do that if you want God to use you the way he want to use you. If this person ain't no good for you, if this person ain't showing you no godly sign, you got to let that person go. And deal with them to a certain extent as your most, hey, you look at that stuff I give you?
Keep it cordial.
Oh, for real? Or what? Man, you need to take a look at that, man, but I'll holler at you. Now, when coming to your kids, your mamas, your daddies, your brothers and stuff, observe the time. Friends, that's an easy cut off. I don't understand why people make it so hard to cut a friend off. Unless y'all a friend that grow up together, and y'all like brothers and sisters, and this person like dead to your heart, then you gonna deal with them like you would deal with your brother, mama, daddy, and sisters and kids. You deal with them like that. But you know this person like to go clubbing all the time, this person like to do things that go against God, guess what? Christ said, cut them off. You gotta remember, he said, if your eye offend you, pluck them out. If your right hand offend you, cut them off. Why he used body parts? Because those things close to you. You need those stuff. Those stuff is near to you. Without your own, you're gonna be able to move it like you want to. So that's why Christ used your body parts, and that you know it's similar to when you go back to Deuteronomy, he talk about those that's close to you. Cut them off. Because they are hindering you from the kingdom and they're going to cause you to go to hell. And a lot of people start going to say, y'all talk about leave your family alone. No, he ain't tell you to leave your family alone. He tell you what the word of God said. Now, you take it the way you want to take it. But it'd be best for you to go ahead and deposit that in your account. So you can have that in the kingdom of heaven. Because you don't deposit, you already spend it because you still want to be with that person. Well, don't be surprised when you make it to that door and he said, depart from me, I know you're not. Because that one person hinder you from the kingdom. But I won't go too deep in that. Because that's a whole other class. Let's get Matthew 18 and 20.
Matthew chapter 18 and verse 20. For where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them.
So that's what I said earlier. Christ, read it again.
For where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name,
meaning his laws and commandments, read.
There am I in the midst of them.
So at the end of the day, guess what? A lot of people might be, oh, y'all got a small congregation. Oh, well, because Christ said where only 2 or 3 are gathered together, he will be in the midst. So a lot of them who thinking, oh, you ain't got that much people in your school, and I won't go here because they got this much people right here. Go right ahead. Because guess what? We got smaller issues that we're going to have to work with. Besides that place that got many people, got many demons they're going to have to fight with. We got small ones that God dealing with us with.
That's right.
So at the end of the day, guess what? We know we keeping the laws and the commandments. Christ said he's going to be in the midst. He's going to be right there. He's going to make sure we do according to what he tells us to do. Now, it would have been different if we wasn't keeping laws and commandments. We wasn't doing the laws and the commandments. Then that's a different story. So like I tell a lot of people, you try to say we in the midst of sin, show me my sin. Don't tell me I'm in the midst of sin, you can't show me my sin. Because that's not helping me. Show me my sin, and then show me how can I correct it according to the word of God. So when people come to you like that, that's how you shut them down. Especially Christian pastors, no one can't keep the laws. No, y'all can't keep the law because y'all go off of your own flesh. Y'all carnal-minded. Y'all don't believe in what God says. From there, let me get Hebrews 10 and 24.
Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 24. And let us consider one another to provoke unto love and to good works.
Now, I like that. I like that right there. It said, and let us consider one another to provoke unto love and to good work. Meaning we must provoke each other to go in that direction, to show each other how to love each other. How to do good work. What is the good work he's talking about? The laws and the commandments. Teaching each other, this is how you put the fringes on your clothes. Sisters, this is how you're supposed to wrap your hair up. Brother, no, you see how you got your shade right there cut? No, you can't do that because that's part of your facial hair. You can't do that. But you know you can keep it shaved down. That's how you show each other good work. You help each other understand on how to keep the laws and commandments. Somebody might have a foul mouth. You're like, no, bro, you can't be talking like that, man. That's that word, that's that carnal mind we used to be. But you know, the Bible says we're supposed to be mindful in the word that we speak. So you're teaching each other into good works. Only way you can be able to do that is by how? Fellowshipping with one another. Coming to the Sabbath class. Coming to Bible study. Coming to different functions that we might have in the school to fellowship to get to know each other more. One day is not going to get you to understand somebody. You might kiss that goodbye. That's just like the Christian church today now. A lot of them just run on church only on Sunday. That's it. They don't even go to no Bible study. Some don't even go to church on Sunday. They go maybe on that Easter Sunday. Though Sunday is the wrong day anyway. And then you got someone that is in Israelite camp. They don't even show up on the Sabbath class on Saturdays. They make different excuses why they can't come. Now, we always tell people now, the only thing you can probably miss on the Sabbath if you sick and you can't really make it to the Sabbath class, or you to the point you on bed rest or whatever, that's different. That's what they got the online class for. But if you can make it on Sabbath class, you need to be here. Because that's congregating with your brother. You learning something that God is probably about to speak to the person that He using that's going to benefit you. You might have a question that you are looking for, and that day that you miss it, that probably the day your answer came out. And that's also on Bible study night. But we tell people Bible study night ain't mandatory, but it's beneficial for you. Because it's going to help you to grow more and more and understand on how to break down the Bible. To help you to be able to get over the rest of the week from the demons that you have to deal with from Monday to Tuesday and Wednesday. This Bible got to be read constantly daily. A lot of people say, oh yeah, I know I read the Bible all day. I know I read it all the time. It's one thing you reading the Bible, and one thing you understanding and learning the Bible.
What you read?
Mm-hmm. Because like I tell a lot of people, you can read the Bible all day. And the next day you can go back and read again and get something totally different. Or you might get stuck on a chapter that you might have no clue what that chapter talking about. And you might be confused until the Most High bring it back to your knowledge again. You might, you know what? I just read that. That's what that means. From there, let me get 1 Peter 3.
1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 8. Finally, be ye all of one mind.
Say what?
Finally, be ye all of one mind, having compassion one of another. Love as brethren, be pitiful, be courteous.
Be courteous. Some people is not going to learn things as quick as the next person. So we got to learn how to be patient and work with our brothers and sisters to help them get to that next stage. But they're also proving that person. Why the person is not catching on? Or everybody else caught it, why the sister, why that brother ain't catching it? So now you got to start pressuring that brother. Because that brother or that sister can be in the midst of sin. And that's why they ain't getting it. Or they might just have that type of learning ability that it don't come as quick. And you got to be patient with those people. And then eventually they get it. Because when they get it, it will never leave their mind. Read.
Not rendering evil for evil, or reeling for reeling. Be contrarized, blessing, knowing that ye are thereunto called, that ye should inherit a blessing.
We are going to inherit a blessing. So we got to make sure that we not railing evil for evil toward one another. We all got to make sure when we come to fellowship, we coming in the love of Christ. To see each other grow. To see this kingdom come to pass. To see new souls to start coming in. That is longing for that compassion of love. Learning for the kingdom. Read.
For he that will love life and see good days, let him refrain his tongue from evil, and his lips that they speak no guile.
Read.
Let him excuse evil and do good. Let him seek peace and ensure it. For the eyes of the Lord are over the righteous, and his ears are open unto their prayers. but the face of the Lord is against them that do evil.
So right here, verse 12 says, for the eyes of the Lord are over the righteous, and his ears are open unto their prayer. Because this right here show you a proof again. The Most High only going to hear the prayers of the righteous. He's not going to hear the prayers of the sinners. Because like the scripture said, God do not hear prayers of sinners. So God is only going to hear the prayers of the righteous. But he said right here, but the face of the Lord is against them that do evil. So you do evil toward anyone, or you got an evil mindset toward anyone, God won't pass judgment on you. That's why God said, when you come into the house of the Lord, come in with joyfulness and gladness. Because that's something we should always come in here for. Because one reason why we should always come in here with joyfulness and gladness is one fact of the matter is, we are awakened to the truth. The second reason is, you got people that believe the same thing you believe. Because when you out at home, you might have people at your home that don't believe. When you on your job, you working around enemies constantly all day. And you gotta realize, who did they kill Christ? We did. Who did they kill the apostle? We did. Who did they kill the prophets? We did. So when you at your job and you got all these enemies around you, you think one of them might not actually kill you or harm you? You gotta remember, in a lot of people's mindset, they thinking Esau is the enemy. No, we know Esau the enemy. How that what you call that low everybody use? Keep your friend close, or keep your enemy close, or keep your friend close, or something like that. Because you gotta remember this stuff. You already know how your enemy feel about you. But if you thinking your own people love you because we the same people, no, they don't love you. When the Bible says all nations gonna be against you, meaning even of your own people. Because they're gonna be the first one to turn up the fire to try to get us locked up, to try to get us killed. They're gonna be the one to spread lies on our name. The same one who's sitting right at your table gonna be the one to persecute you. That God darn Judas. They're gonna be the one. It might be your own kids gonna be the one to betray you. We gotta keep that in mind. We got enemies all around us, y'all. Everywhere we go, we got enemies, right?
Verse 13, and who is he that will harm you, if ye be followers of that which is good?
So it asks a question. And who is he that will harm you, if ye be followers of that which is good? What is good, y'all? The law. So we keeping the laws and the commandments. What you think your enemy gonna do who don't keep the laws and the commandments? They're just waiting for you to make a mistake before they can say, oh, you know what? Yeah, he ain't no good. I tell you about faith, man. They ain't real. They're just waiting for you. They're like the darn snake on the darn heart. They're being patient to see when you're going to drop before they come down to attack. That's why we all got to keep our sword sharpened. We got to continue to fellowship with one another. We got to continue to keep coming to these Sabbath class on a regular basis because the enemy is approaching us in all angles. John 17. In all angles, the enemy is waiting to attack. There is no room or no error for us to be slipping or making careless mistakes. John 17 and verse 21.
The book of St. John, chapter 17 and verse 21. That they all may be one, as thou, Father, art in me, and I in thee, that they also may be one in us, that the world may believe that thou hast sent me. And the glory which thou gavest me, I have given them, and that they may be one, even as we are one.
So right here, you see Christ is giving a prayer for us. He is praying unto the Father for our behalf. He tells the Father in verse 21 that they all may be one, as thou, Father, art in me, and I in thee, that they also may be one in us, that the world may believe that thou hast sent me. Verse 22, read it again.
And the glory which thou gavest me, I have given them.
So Christ said he give us the same glory what God had given him. Read.
That they may be one, even as we are one.
That they can be one, even as him and the Father are one. Meaning we supposed to have that same mindset. Our mind supposed to be after Christ. Your mind should be after Christ. We all here to be thinking the same thing. That's why people say, oh, you said me something, Father, this person, Father, that person. Or if you got somebody teaching you, Paul said, Father, know how he said that? Father me as our Father Christ. Paul is not bit himself up there on Christ. No. He was saying because whatever I'm telling you the same thing what Christ already told me. So we all should be in the same territory, speaking the same thing. If someone step out that circle, you should be like, whoa. Everybody should have felt that. Now, whoa, hold up, bro, you wrong. We don't teach that here. Where you get that doctrine from? Who teach you that? Who told you that? That's how all has to be on one sake. When somebody says something down the line, everybody should already look at it. They're like, whoa. We don't teach that. But nobody don't look at somebody when somebody says something out of line. That means we got a bunch of different beliefs going on here. And they're going to have to get fixed. Read.
Verse 23. I in them, and thou in me, that they may be made perfect in one, and that the world may know that thou hast sent me, and hast loved them as thou hast loved me.
Read.
Father, I will that they also whom thou hast given me be with me where I am, that they may behold my glory, which thou hast given me. For thou lovest me before the foundation of the world.
So Christ saying to the Father, for I would that they also whom thou hast given me be with me where I am. So Christ praying unto the Father that he can see us that day be with him in the kingdom, in paradise. The only way we're going to be able to get that, y'all, is fellowshipping. Coming to the Sabbath class. Coming to learn these laws and the commandments. When we leave this building, we taking that same spirit that was in us in this building back out into the world to let our light shine. What is that spirit? Christ walking in you. So when you speak, they used to say, you must go to that KOI down the road. Because all y'all say the same thing. We used to be like a bunch of mockingbirds. So everybody knows exactly what school you coming from. Because why? We all speak the same exact thing. But if somebody come and ask you about multiple wives and you carry on conversation like you believe in that, well, we ain't speaking the same thing. Your answer of the ribs about nope, you don't believe in that, that's not of Christ. And keep on moving. Cut that conversation short. But when you lead in with that conversation, that's how the devil creeps in and start changing your mind. When somebody start bringing you different doctrine about something else, you got to cut it short. Especially if you're not equipped with that understanding, cut that conversation short. because they will brainwash you. You got to think about it. Adam know everything that God told him. And the serpent came and betrayed Adam's mind over his wife. Just for one little simple word, you should not surely die. Oh, for real? We should have died? And that's when you look at it, that's today's time now. Because a lot of people back, well, when they did eat it, they didn't die, they still live. Not understanding spiritual, they died from the Most High God. They ain't had that relationship no more. And that's the same thing for us. We try to teach people to keep these laws and the commandments, but you got other camps or other preachers out there trying to tell you don't got to keep the laws no more. God's still going to love you. What do you mean? You're not under no curse. You're not in captivity. You can do what you want to do. You're free to do what you want to do. So what you get in your mind? He's right. We can't go where we want to go at. We is free. Not realizing you're still in captivity. Because Christ said, if you got to pay taxes to anyone, you are in captivity. From there, let me get 2 Corinthians 6.
2 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 14. Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship had righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion had light with darkness?
And verse 14 is so self-explanatory that really don't need no breakdown. The answer is right there for you. When it says, be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. What does that mean? Those that do not believe in this Bible. Those do not believe that you got to keep the laws and the commandments. Those that believe they can wear wherever they want to wear and they can still going to get the kingdom of heaven. The Bible says don't be equally yoked with them. That also for those that say they are Israelites, know they're Israelites, but they were not kept believing in multiple wives, that's being you as unequally yoked. So why would you even carry on conversation with that person? Don't even commune with that person. Paul made it perfectly clear. Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship has righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion has light with darkness? When you if you turn this light off right now, and the light come in here, where is darkness gonna go at? Disappear. Those two things cannot mix. Darkness will never overpower light. The only time darkness ever overpower light is during what time, y'all? Let me see somebody been thinking. What time did darkness overpower light?
Genesis. When you're not letting your light shine.
No, not that. I mean, actually, that actually happened.
In Egypt?
In Egypt. Remember when God turned everything straight black dark? For 3 days, they started light candle. It was not even light in the whole room. It was black dark. That's the only time. Only time in history you ever heard that happen. From there, let me get read that again.
Let me answer to that. Read 14 again.
This is 2 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 14. Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers.
What?
Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers.
Read.
For what fellowship?
What?
For what fellowship?
Remember these words. The title of the class is what? God command us to do what? Fellowship. Read.
For what fellowship has righteousness?
Have what?
Has righteousness?
I'm pausing these words for a minute, for a reason. Read.
With unrighteousness.
Now I got a question. It says, be not unequally yoked together with unbelievers, right? For what fellowship have righteousness with unrighteousness? What time frame did this happen? I want an example. Your brother Joe just mentioned it just a few seconds ago. It's a time frame when this happened, because the title of the class is about being equally yoked. You got a fellowship, right? So when you become unrighteousness before the Most High, what do you have to do with that person? Cut them off. When did this happen? Adam and Eve. That's the perfect example right there. When Adam and Eve did not believe in what God said, God said, oh, cut them off. They're unbelievers. We ain't equally yoked no more. That's a perfect example of the Most High cutting them off. Read it again.
Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers.
That's a commandment from the Most High God. Read.
For what fellowship had righteousness?
Who is righteousness in the story of Adam and Eve? Christ and the Most High. All right? So now he said, what fellowship have righteousness? In other words, instead of righteousness, pick Christ and the Most High have with
unrighteousness.
Unrighteousness will be who? Adam and Eve. So God said, listen, the unequally yoked, I ain't got no fellowship with them. Cast them out of the garden. That's us being unequally yoked. These things is then repetitive. The Bible says the same thing over and over. You just got to catch the hints. Read.
And what communion had light with darkness?
So like Brother Joe was saying, light represents what in the Bible? The laws. Darkness represents what? Sin. So that's exactly what the Most High did with Adam and Eve. And he was telling us that from the beginning. When you leave righteousness, you fall into darkness. And if you don't have the right fellowship with him, he cannot commune with you. He cannot be unequally yoked with unrighteousness or with darkness. It's saying the same thing over and over. Everybody understand that?
Wait, look, jump to 16. I just saw something.
16.
Mm-hmm.
Look, 2 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 16. And what agreement had the temple of God with idols? For ye are the temple of the living God.
Read that part again.
For ye are the temple of the living God.
So this line back on with verse 14. When it said, be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For the fellowship had righteousness with unrighteousness, and what communion had light with darkness. So when you look at verse 16, it's saying, and what agreement had the temple of God with idol? We know God will deal with idol. So what temple is next? Your body is a what? Temple to God. So it tells you right here, for ye are the temple of the living God. So you allow the people to defile your temple, you filing God. So God not going to have no relationship with you. Even though you believe and you try to do what's right, but you allowing your family or friend to corrupt you in an area, now you want to lose relationship with the Most High God. Because you being, what the word I'm looking for, not unequal, you try to ease, that was the word I'm looking for.
Smooth people?
Yeah, it's a smooth people when you know they are breaking the laws and the commandments of God. You sit there in a circle with somebody who literally blazing and getting high when you know the Bible says your body is a temple and that person defiling their own temple.
You trimming your waist.
Yeah, you trimming your ways to please or choose love for your family or friends. So at the end of the day, that means you literally seeing sin and you saying, hell with the law, I love my friend, but you tell them at the same time, I don't give a deal about you, go to hell. See how all that tie in together? You literally telling somebody who you love to go to hell because why? You won't correct them. But if you correct them with the words of God, then you tell them, bro, I love you, I don't want to see you lose your soul. That's why I say, you got, when you read these scriptures, you got to read it with that spiritually eye and that concerning spirit for the Most High God to let you see him speaking through you. Or speaking through the scripture to give you that understanding. Y'all follow? Ezekiel, go back to Ezekiel 11:16.
Ezekiel chapter 11 and verse 16. Therefore say, thus said the Lord God, although I have cast them far off among the heathen, and although I have scattered them among the countries, yet will I be to them as a little sanctuary in the country where they shall come.
So the Most High said once again, like we read earlier, He will set up small sanctuary throughout all the country. When you notice now, you got Israelite camp throughout all the country, throughout all the world now. It's spread out, little small sanctuary. When you go to these different camps, you will see for your own self that it's a small group of people in these little areas. So in the meantime, as we setting up these small sanctuary that God already set up, to let His word come forward, there's a rules and regulation when you come inside these doors that you must follow. And it's not according to what we want, it's according to what God said. Give me 1 Corinthians 1 and 10. So let's find the first rule, what must be when you come in to the small sanctuary.
The book 1 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 10. Now I beseech you, brethren, by the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, that ye all speak the same thing.
That we do what?
That we all speak the same thing.
That we all speak the same thing. I shouldn't speak nothing different. You shouldn't be speaking nothing different. Read.
And that there be no division among you.
No division. Read.
But that ye be perfectly joined together in the same mind and in the same judgment.
In the same judgment. You cannot be unequally yoked when judgment has come across on somebody and you say, well, I don't think that person need to have that right now. Breaks. That means you're not equally yoked. Y'all are speaking the same thing. Somebody got their own belief. This person won't believe this. This person won't believe that. But the Bible told us, but that ye be perfectly joined together. You ever know that Siamese, what do you call those people? Siamese friends that stuck together. Some of them got one brain. You stuck together. So they thinking the same thing. But they can't move from each other because they're on the same sequence. That's how we're supposed to be spiritually together on one contact. One thing. Well, I'm thinking you should already have the thought in your mind. Oh, you want this chapter right here. When we get to that level, it's going to be unstoppable. Ain't nobody going to be able to come across the path the wrong way. Give from there. Give me Amos 3:3.
The book of Amos, chapter 3 and verse 3. Can two walk together except they be agreed?
How can we walk together if we don't agree? We have to agree on the same thing to be able to walk together. We're going to have to agree on the same content of this gospel. I don't believe in multiple wives. I believe that you have to try to keep the law to the best of your ability. I don't believe in the star of Molech. So whoever comes among the body, their mind will have to be transformed in the mind of Christ according to the laws and the commandments that I is teaching out. Not you come in here and want to change your idea. Well, I think we need to do this, y'all. I believe, no. I think you need to do. From there, let me get Ecclesiastes 5:1.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 5 and verse 1. Keep thy foot when thou goest to the house of God, and be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools, for they consider not that they do evil. Be not rash with thy mouth, and let not thy heart be hasty to utter anything before God. For God is in heaven, and thou upon earth. Therefore, let thy word be few.
So check this right here. Give me Romans 8 and 5.
Romans chapter 8 and verse 5.
Uh-huh.
For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh.
That goes back to what he's saying. Let thy word be true. Because you come in here, your mind is carnal. Your mind is after the flesh. You might just came out of Christianity and your mindset is still on Christianity. Or you might be coming from out of prison believing in Islam. So now you want to come in here and start to tell us something that you don't know what you're talking about. We tell you Islam is garbage. Christianity is number one in this garbage. All the religion white man made is garbage. But the Israelites, the words of God, the laws of the commandments of God, this is true. Read.
But they that are after the Spirit, the things of the Spirit.
Read.
For to be carnally minded in death.
So you being carnal minded coming in here, you should be seeking for life. But you still being carnal minded, you are going toward death. Read.
But to be spiritually minded is life and peace.
So the spiritually minded person, they're going to shut their mouth. They're going to learn what God is trying to bring to their understanding. That they can be able to say, you know what? Dang, I didn't even know that. And that's right there in the Bible. That's the humble spirit. But a carnal mind person, well, you know, in Christianity, they say this right here, and I feel like this right here. Fool, shut up. Because you don't know what you're talking about. And for those that are online that don't want to believe what I'm saying or disagree with what I'm saying, oh, well, give me Romans 3 and 3.
Romans chapter 3 and verse 3. For what if some did not believe?
So y'all online listening to our teaching today. If you don't want to believe, this is what the Bible says. Read.
Shall their unbelief make the faith of God without effect?
So your unbelief or your disbelief, do that gonna make anything different from the Most High God? Let's see what God said. Read.
God forbid.
Meaning H to the no. Read.
Yea, let God be true.
Let God be true. Read.
But every man's a liar.
Every man is a liar. Read.
As it is written.
As it is written, meaning it was written before. Read.
That thou mightest be justified in thy saying. And mightest overcome when thou art judged.
So guess what the Bible said right here? Everything we speak according to the words of God. So when you try to come at us, we're going to be justified when we be judged, because why? We speak the words of God. We never spoke nothing on our own carnal mind. We went to the Bible and we read it as it is written. So when we say Jesus Christ is black, we read it because the Bible says he is black.
That's right.
And with that Israel, I said, Most High Christ bless the Lord.